Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy, and today we're going to be doing a 900 New Zealand dollar budget build. So this should be a bit of fun. We haven't done one for a little while, but what makes it even better is that we are going to be giving away an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 950. Now this is unfortunately only going to be for those of you who live in Australia and New Zealand, but still, yeah, good giveaway. So I'll talk about that a bit more at the end of the video, so stick around. Now let's jump straight into it then with the parts. So go from the outside in, I guess. We'll talk about the case first. So the case is actually what Greg used on our build off when we did the Tech Showdown vs Playtech TV build off. It's the Inwin EM019, or what I call the EMO19 mini tower case. This comes with a 400 watt 80 plus gold power supply included, and it's actually a pretty solid case, honestly guys. For a more budget case with an included power supply, it actually is pretty decent. Now as far as CPU goes, got it right here. It's going to be the Intel i3 6100. So this is a Skylake CPU, dual core with hyperthreading, so 2 cores but 4 threads, 3.7 gigahertz speed, and a 51 watt TDP. So this is going to be good for everything we're going to be needing to do on it, and it is LGA 1151 as well, which means we're going to need a motherboard which can handle that. And for that we have the Asus H110M-A. So I really like this motherboard. Not only does it come in at a fantastic price point, but it's got their 5X protection too, so that's basically to smooth out the power. Makes it a bit more stable. Also has some surge protection features like that, so you don't get into trouble there. So that's really good. It's just a very solid motherboard for the price that it's coming in at, and I actually really quite like this one. Now we're going to need RAM for this. And of course, being LGA 1151, we're going to need some DDR4. So that's what I have here. This is the G-Skill NT series 4GB. It's a single stick of 4GB, but it is DDR4, and this is running at a speed of 2133 megahertz. So this should go really well and make this system quite nippy. Now, we're going to be needing a graphics card. So this is kind of like the main thing whenever it comes to a budget build. And for this, picked the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 950, and this is the Asus Strix model. So what I like about the 950 is that it's actually got pretty good performance for an entry-level graphics card, and it's got 3 times the graphics performance of a console. So that's really, really good. The other thing I like about it is that it's super responsive, so it's got their low latency technology, which is going to be really helpful if you're a person that plays a lot of MOBA games like Dota 2 and League of Legends. It's also coming with 2 gigabytes of video memory, which is a solid amount for an entry-level graphics card. Now, as far as this Asus Strix model goes, it's coming with a speed of 1355 megahertz straight out of the box. That's decent. That's good enough to get you by. It's also coming with their direct CO2 cooler, which we've talked about plenty of times in the past. It usually does a fairly solid job, and it's also coming with their 0 decibel fan technology, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically the fans will be turned off until temperatures get up to a certain amount, and then the fans will turn back on, so then you'll have absolutely no fan noise. And it's also coming with their Super Alloy Power 2, which is basically just upgraded components, which will be better for overclocking if you're going to be wanting to overclock this graphics card, and you are going to be wanting to do that. So yeah, I think a really solid choice as far as the GPU goes. And finally, we're going to need some storage. And we're going to go with SanDisk again. So this is what I went with when me and Greg did our build off. This is the SanDisk 120G SSD plus 120 gig, obviously, SSD. So it's really good. Has read speeds of up to 520 megabits a second, which I actually think is pretty decent considering these are coming in at a very low price. So yeah, one of these will do us just fine. So with all of that out of the way, now that you know all the parts that we're going to be using, let's jump into the build video and have some fun. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the build. we're back. So that was a really fun build, guys. I quite enjoyed doing it. And if you're someone who's never built a system before and you're maybe a little bit intimidated, don't be. Honestly, it's like Lego for adults. There's plenty of tutorials online that will help walk you through it, and it really isn't that difficult. Now, let's talk about the system itself. So, performance per dollar, I think, will be really, really good with it. I was playing League of Legends, and it was absolutely fantastic. It's also going to be really great for you guys who are going to be playing Dota 2. But not only those games, but everything else you're going to be wanting to play, it should do a decent job at 1080p. However, you are going to need to be playing around with those graphics settings to get the performance to where you want it to be. If you're not really sure how to do that, you can always use GeForce Experience. You can optimize the games in there, which is basically we'll set it to what NVIDIA thinks are the right settings, the right balance between quality and performance, so that's really good. Also, the other thing is that it's not just for gaming. You could use it as a media center. I mean, it'd be one hell of a media center, but you could use it for that. But also all your other more casual things, browsing the web, maybe doing typing documents and other things like that. It does all of it. So that's really what I tell people. You can spend a little bit more and get yourself a nice budget gaming computer, a bit more than a console, that is. But you're just getting a much more versatile system out of it. So I think it is worth just spending that bit more and doing a budget build for that reason alone. Now let's talk about that giveaway. So we are going to be giving away the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 950, this Asus Strix model, thanks to the great guys over at NVIDIA Australia and New Zealand and Asus. So if you want to be in to win, and remember guys that this is only for Australia and New Zealand, unfortunately, look down in the description below. There'll be a link there that takes you over to the NVIDIA forums for Australia and New Zealand, and it'll have everything you have there to do in order to be entered in to this giveaway, which I will draw randomly in, say, 2 weeks' time. So best of luck to all you guys that enter the giveaway, because, why not? You can win a graphics card out of it. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.